Alright, so we're going to be mounting a tarantula today. I'm going to show you how I do it. There are many different ways to do it. This particular specimen I taxidermied when I caught it 20 years ago. This one is Pamphobethus antinus. I got this in Peru when I was there. This is a female and it has been dehydrated in this position for the last 22 years. I have now been soaking it in a solution of soap and pine sol and hot water for the last 15 minutes. And now I'm gently opening up the limbs. So each leg is really fragile. It can snap off very easily. I want to make sure that I don't break any appendages. Here's the pedipalps I'm stretching out. I want to gain this flexibility before I put it onto the board to spread it out. Now at this point here, I'm going to open up the fangs. I want to be able to try and display the fangs. So there's one. Get my finger under there. I'm using the forceps just underneath the fang so I can pry it open. There we go. So now I'm going to place my fingers underneath the fangs, and I'm going to get these legs out. Now I'm going to put her on the board. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is take a pin and set the fang out so it doesn't retract, because I want it to remain out. There we go. Now I'm going to fix the body to my foam board. I want to make sure that the cephalothorax is flush with the board. I don't want any type of elevation because I want it to be mounted flat. Then I begin on the hind leg. I want to give it a lifelike appearance so I don't stretch it out flat. The interior has been stuffed with cotton to make it look inflated. In case you're wondering why it hasn't flattened or shriveled up. We do that upon catching the specimen, so that way there's no decomposition and no shriveling up, and we can retain the inflated look of the abdomen. So once I have the hind legs in position, I'm going to take the forelegs and stretch them out. I want to position it diagonally so that it looks visually appealing. I want to achieve the lines of symmetry as best as I can. Next, I'll just show you where I'm at right now. So I'm relatively happy with how it's looking so far. Next, I take the next set of hind legs. I'm going to stretch them out. I want to make sure that I get the last segment of the legs so that they don't curl up as they dry. Sometimes it's not easy to achieve the lines of symmetry. I use a ruler to be able to square everything up after I'm done to see if I've achieved the lines of symmetry. Can't really rely on my eyes for that because the eyes can trick you into thinking something looks symmetrical and balanced when it's actually not. And then when you come back and look at your piece that you've worked on, you'll notice all the imperfections, and then that's very frustrating because either you want to feel like you do it again, rehydrate the specimen and start all over, or then you have to live with a job that's half done properly. So here we are looking at how the legs are splayed out, whether it's acceptable. So far, things are looking okay. I think I'm gonna have to do some fine adjustments here. Like for example, this leg is sticking out a little bit too much to the left. So I'm gonna bring that in. You can see there's a lot of tension. It doesn't want to go where you want to place it because it has been in a dehydrated position for so long. It moves completely differently than if you were dealing with a freshly caught or dead specimen where no rigor has set in, where no dehydration has affected the tissue because there's no muscle tissue here. Now I'm going to work on the pedipalps. I'm going to take 2 pins and stretch out the pedipalps, but you can see it wants to curl up, so I'm going to have to try and create like a TP effect so that it doesn't keep on curling. I want to straighten it out. What I do to one side, I want to balance it out, do it on the other side. Again, this curl in the pedipalps is causing it to not get into position. So I'm going to have to put some pins on the outside and try to fix it in place. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of all the pins, which pin is going where. And sometimes you have to redo it. You think you do it right the first time, but it doesn't look right, so you got to redo it. As you can see, there's lots of issues here on the left pedipalp. Starting to get better. All right, I'm pretty happy with this general look. Now, I'm gonna just keep an eye out, see if there are any areas of lines of symmetry that I've missed. Now I'm gonna take my square and square everything up line everything up so that it looks visually appealing to the eye when you look at it. I'm actually pretty happy with how this looks. I'm gonna let it dry like this. Now, one of the things that you might be noticing is that not every appendage is absolutely equal in distance and length and thickness as the other is on the other side. And there's always variation within each species. Some legs are longer, some are shorter, some are thicker, some are wider, and it's not perfectly balanced. But I'm trying to make it as perfectly balanced as possible visually, trying to accommodate for that. Here are the spinnerets. This is what she uses to spin a bed on to be able to change her skin when she's ready to molt. All right, so here it is. This is done. And if you want to see how the fangs look, there they are. So now I'm going to let it dry like this. It's going to take about 3 weeks of drying. And then it'll be ready for me to put into my collection or a frame. Thanks for watching.